Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Alex. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I believe this is episode number 13, and today I'm with Seth.
Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, you said something new this time.
Right, yeah. Thought I'd spice it up a little bit.
Right.
How are you doing as a real good, switch up from the hello.
Yeah, because that's usually all you say.
Generic white guy voice.
Right. NBA season is here. I'm very happy. Are you?
I am very happy.
I'll be honest with you.
I don't sound very enthusiastic, but I promise I'm actually really excited. I just got off work, so I'm a bit tired, but I'm excited to talk about this stuff and have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, it's only been 2 games. Like last night was opening night, and there's already a fair amount of stuff to talk about. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like when there's so many games each night.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to deal with.
Yeah. But hey, that's part of the fun of it.
You forgot about this game. Like, that game doesn't matter.
But I was gonna say something. I can't even remember what I was gonna say. But so what was I gonna say? I really don't know. Really have no clue.
Are we gonna talk about the games first?
Yeah, we'll get to that. I feel like there was some announcement I had to make.
Twitter?
No, but follow me on Twitter at the Alex NBA. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Thank you guys for over 900 subscribers.
We're
getting close to 1,000, so that's pretty wild.
It's actually really cool.
Very happy the channel's growing. A lot of it has to do with that Steph Curry video that has 500,000 views right now.
Yeah. There are videos like that on every channel.
Yeah.
Like, you'll see something just have a random explosive amount of views.
Yeah, which is, I'm really happy I made that video because that's the reason some people come to this from that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool to see growth. But yeah, thank you guys so much. So let's get into basketball. We've got a pretty good bit of stuff to talk about here. Some of this came out before opening night, but we'll just start with the games from last night. What was your biggest takeaway from the Sixers and Celtics game, and is it a rivalry?
Not really. I don't think it's like a bitter rivalry. I think it's a more just kind of like a lighthearted. It seemed really mean in the playoffs last year, but it seems they've toned it down.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum and Tatum and Brown were talking to Embiid, but Embiid talks. That's just what he does. It's not really Sixers versus Celtics. More like Embiid versus the Celtics.
I agree with you when you say it's more of a lighthearted, friendly battle than a rivalry. It would be, to me, a better rivalry if that series had gone to like 7 games or something last year.
Right, if it was a real contested thing, and it's like, okay, I want payback.
Even during the regular season, the Celtics spanked the Sixers 3-1 or 4-1. Like, I think it was 3-1.
Yeah.
So
it's not like super contested. It's kind of, okay, this team is better.
Yeah.
One might have, they both have great upside. So it's like,
it's just Boston's already where Philly is going to be eventually.
Right.
But I think I saw something that was Boston has won 8 of the last 10 matchups with Philly just from last year. So if it was like 5-5, it'd be more like I said, if that series had gone to 7 games.
It was like
it would be a rivalry then.
Yeah, that's how you know when something's a rivalry, even if a team is ridiculously good, like a Warriors OKC, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Games like that, you never know what's going to happen because there's bad blood there.
Yeah. So let's talk about Jason Tatum. Now, I think people need to pump the brakes a little bit, saying he's going to be the #1 option or he might be the best player on the Celtics. That's clearly Kyrie Irving. You're shaking your head.
Clearly right now, unless he goes 0 for 8 in the first half of every damn game, which he won't.
We'll talk about Kyrie in a second, but I saw Stephen A saying, not Stephen A, it was Max Kellerman, and some people were saying Tatum's already the #1 option. But you're shaking your head.
No, he's not.
He's definitely in contention for the second best player because Gordon Hayward isn't comfortable yet.
Right. He's still look good, though.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward looked great last night. I was so happy. Did you see the commercial, by the way? The League of Legends
commercial?
That was really cool.
It was cool that they did that.
I know Gordon Hayward's super into gaming and stuff like that, so that was really cool.
I didn't know what it was a commercial for at first.
At first, yeah.
I was like, I thought it was like going to be a commercial for his shoes, like Anta. The brand he signed with.
Yeah.
But then I was really surprised to see it was video games, and I know he plays a lot of video games. But
also unfortunate to hear he signed with Anta. I'm sorry, Gordon.
Yeah, I should have gone with Nike. I guess Nike didn't match Anta's deal. I think that's how that worked. I don't really know.
Maybe. Even though I'd take Nike on the lowest deal. I'm just not going to have Anta make my signature shoe.
I've never even heard of Anta, to be honest with you, before that.
A lot of players sign with Anta, and the shoes always come out trash. They're
Really?
always trash.
I'm not a sneakerhead or anything, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a huge sneakerhead, but I know
would go
enough
with
that
Nike.
Anta is trash.
Yeah, Nike would be your best bet, or like Adidas or whoever.
By the way,
One of those big name brands.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're wearing Anta, I'm kidding. I love you. And yeah, your shoes are still trash, but I love
Oh my
you.
God. Hate comment.
One dislike from one guy who wears Anta.
Tatum is definitely picking up where he left off, though.
Right.
Last
Yeah.
year.
It's not so much. It wasn't a. He didn't really have to get back into it. He came right out. Now let's mention the start of the game because that was a mess. Did you see the start of the game?
It looked like a middle school.
No,
game.
I was trying to watch it with my mom. I was like, I'm so excited. It's the start of the NBA. Even my mom's like, what the hell's going on?
They looked like a middle school team.
For real. Like, everyone was missing open layups.
And they couldn't control the ball. I guess that comes with first game nerves.
Right,
and
yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
what I was thinking. I was like, it's the beginning of the season. I'm like, these guys practice relentlessly.
Yeah.
How is this happening?
But, after the first quarter, it was fine.
Yeah, they settled down
Yeah.
and we're playing actual professional
Right,
basketball.
yeah. One of my biggest takeaways from last night was obviously that Tatum is here. Like,
Yeah,
he's
Tatum
he's no
is
longer
here.
coming. He's here.
Right. Tatum is not that he's not still developing. He's he's here and he's going to get better and better.
Yeah. He's going to be one of the best players. Yeah.
He's got huge upside.
For sure.
Great athleticism.
Yep.
Great basketball IQ for his age as well.
He's really good, man. I don't want to overreact too much to the first game, but Philly should have drafted Jason Tatum over Markelle Fultz because Markelle Fultz, 25 minutes, only 5 points, 2 for 7 shooting.
He's still getting in there. His jump shot looks a lot better. A lot of people are saying that. We're all hoping that things work out for him, just because it was so weird last year with this kind of anonymous injury that is like what was it, fluid drained from his shoulder or something.
Yeah.
But anyways, his jumper looks clean. It actually looks good.
Looks a lot better.
Yeah, and this is something we're gonna have to see over the season before I make a statement like that. Like, they should have drafted Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Some players develop a bit more slowly. Jason Tatum just seems to have picked it up real
That's
fast.
why I prefaced that with I don't want to overreact to one game, but like you said, we'll have to see what time brings.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, for at least for me
for right now.
personally.
Yeah, I got you. Also, the Celtics' depth is insane. Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward have bad games. Well, I'll give Hayward a break.
Gordon Hayward had a decent game.
He had 10 points, whatever. Kyrie had 7 points, 7 assists, 0 for 8 in the first half. He was just pulling up from 3 over and over again, and I was like, what are you doing? You are Kyrie Irving. You are Mr. Handles, drive to the basket, finish over anybody, score wherever you want, from wherever you want.
Right.
So I don't know what was up with his game. I don't know.
Right. Every time I saw him, I was like, sauce him up, Kyrie, and then he threw up a brick. I'm like,
he had a couple cool plays, but it
right.
was the first game of the season. This is his official injury return, so I'll give him a pass too. It's only one game. I don't want to overreact too much to it, but it was just weird to see Kyrie Irving shoot so many threes and not make them, and then not even drive to the basket really that much.
Yeah, I
so
don't know.
It's just strange.
Again, it's like jitters. It's something that's in the ether. It's not really something we can see.
As the season goes on, obviously all these players are gonna. Excuse me, voice cracked again at age 20. Can you believe it? The players are. It's just the first game. They're going to get comfortable soon.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So I'm not worried.
I'm not worried about it either. It was just weird.
No, that start of the game was trash.
I saw this tweet that said Kyrie Irving admits the Earth is flat and then loses all his powers. Made me laugh.
That's how he keeps his balance. That's why his handles are so nice. It's because he thought the Earth was flat and he catered it to that.
What if that was his premise on his thought of that?
Yeah,
it's like,
well, because the Earth is flat, I can do all this. Yeah, right? It's like
that would be hilarious, man.
Easy physics from the Flat Earth Society
has
told me.
Oh, that's hilarious. I know you saw the Ben Simmons behind the back, over the shoulder, no look pass to Markelle
saw that.
Fultz.
My mom was down there for that too. She was like, "Oh wow, that was pretty."
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
You know what? It was.
Ben Simmons got insane vision, so he's gonna have a big year.
Yeah.
Definitely will be an All-Star. Might even make an All-NBA team.
Yeah, I think so too. Ooh.
But there you go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great guards in the league though. So it's a slippery slope saying who gets an All-NBA team. You gotta.
He's not a guard.
He is.
He is. He's a 6'10" guard.
Yeah. Jeez, keep
We're
voice cracking.
slipping.
Oh my goodness.
Can't catch a break today.
Haven't talked much today, so that's probably the reason.
I've been yelling at kids all day at work, so.
So, yeah, he's gonna have a big year. But yeah, you really have to stand out to make an All-NBA team as a guard, because there's the point guard and shooting guard position are so deep, probably the deepest position in the NBA. So let's talk about Gordon Hayward a little more. To me, he doesn't even look comfortable yet, and he looks like his role right now is just a spot-up shooter and getting some rebounds. I know he's gonna take probably half of the season almost to get close to back to where he was back in 2017.
I mean, to be honest, I think he's looking pretty good. I mean, some people, when they come back from an injury like that, they are doo-doo.
Yeah, that's true. I'll say this. He looks good for his leg falling off.
Yeah, for his leg getting decimated.
He looks good for that. It's just he'll take a minute to get back to like all-star Jazz Gordon Hayward. You know what I'm saying? You know, his explosiveness is going to take a while to come back. And then just, I've said it before, the mental hump of trying to
that's what he's talked about a lot is like he's one thing I heard that was cool was I can't remember the announcer who was saying it, but he was talking about how he was with his physical therapist, or like I think his just therapist in general, you know, going through his first game coming back, you know, going through his like what his first shot will be, you know, what kind of moves he'll make, you know. He has to process those things because what happened to him was horrifying. You know, it's a traumatizing
worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Not really, but it's up there.
Worst thing I've seen on an NBA. No, Kevin Ware's the worst.
Oh, that's probably the worst video I've seen. The Hayward injury was the worst thing I've seen live.
Right, yeah.
The Kevin Ware video just
no one was watching that live. I mean, some people, but whatever.
Yeah. I think that was in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because that was the year they won the championship, the college championship. Whatever. Different. Right. That's neither here nor there. But
anything else about the Celtics Sixers?
Jaylen Brown's dunk on Joel Embiid.
That wasn't a dunk.
It wasn't. Why did I say dunk? But you saw the picture where he's like so far to the right, and he's up there.
Right.
That is a nasty picture.
Oh my god! Yeah, they did the slow mo because like it was nasty in real time, but the slow mo just him going up, and he kept levitating, and I was like, oh my god!
Jaylen Brown has hops, bro. Like
he's got the launch pad for sure.
Yeah. I didn't mean to call it a dunk. I just didn't know what else to call it.
No, I'm not like teasing you.
Yeah, I know, like a thrown.
I mean, it was supposed to be a dunk, but like Embiid somehow
contested it. Yeah,
it was a tip by Embiid.
Yeah, like went off off the block, banked in. Did you see Tatum wink at him?
Yeah.
After they were like they're friends, right? So they're going at each other.
Right.
Tatum banks it off after crossing him up a little bit, you know, making him dance a little. Winks at him going down the other end of the court. I love it. I love it. I love the whole just
Joel Embiid versus the league.
Yeah, it's so funny. Speaking of Joel Embiid versus the league, he was getting kind of shut down by Horford and Terry Rozier and Aaron Baines a little bit low key. Was kind of like stopping him in the paint.
He was still a threat. I could definitely still see things, and he didn't have a terrible game.
Yeah, and he's gonna remember this game. He didn't have a terrible game by any means. He still scored over 20 points. Pretty sure I had a double-double and like 10 rebounds or something like that.
No, yeah, and I think what you were about to say was, again, one of the announcers saying is like he looks at tape and like he's gonna remember.
Yeah, he's gonna remember Tatum winking at him.
He's like, oh, that's what he did. All right, I got your number.
The OKC game last year where triple overtime game Westbrook waved goodbye to Joel Embiid after the final buzzer, and then he remembered that, and then the next time they played OKC, Joel Embiid posterizes Westbrook. So I feel like we're going to get some more of that throughout the season because they see each other, I think it's 4 times during the regular season. So I'm excited for more of these Sixers-Celtics games because it's I don't want to call it a rivalry. It's just it's a very fun matchup between two of the best teams in the East.
And if it is a rivalry, it's a very lighthearted one. It's not any deep-seated hatred.
Yeah, it's just all in good fun for the most part. Until Philly elevates their level up to Boston's, then it'll be a more competitive series. But right now, I can't see them beating the Celtics. At most, they'll steal 2 games from them.
Right.
As of right now, that's what I think. Okay, so anything else on the Sixers and Celtics game?
God, I'm trying to remember. TJ McConnell looked good.
he plays with a lot of heart.
He does. He's got the hustle, and he wants to.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry to interrupt, but how tall do you think JJ Redick is? Because this man is listed as 6'4".
He is not 6'4".
He's like 6'1" at best. You know that NBA players get to choose the height.
No, yeah, they get to choose. That's why Kevin Durant listed himself as 6'9".
He's like 7 feet.
Fuck off.
I can't believe that some of these players
6'4", but that's how you got to get drafted, man. It's sad.
It's a slippery slope. If you can play, you can play. You don't really
got to catfish the league.
I guess. So let's talk about OKC and the Warriors. Dennis Schroeder is looking like a very solid backup point guard. I'd say him and Terry Rozier are the 2 best backups in the league. Best backup point guards.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, seeing 6-man for Schroeder.
Yeah, they'll both be considered.
I think the race for 6-man of the year is going to be pretty interesting this year.
It is. You got Van Vliet in Toronto.
Rozier,
Schroeder, Isaiah Thomas, Carmelo Anthony.
Just Tobias Harris doesn't even come off the bench anymore.
No, he's a starter, I'm pretty sure. But if he were coming off the bench, that would be a great pick. There's a lot of great 6-men. Carmelo's coming off the bench this year, so
Eric Gordon isn't anymore, so he's out of
He's going to be starting. I don't like that. We've talked about it before.
I don't like it that much either. Like you said, he doesn't have the size to be a wing. He's like, if he was like an inch or 2 taller.
Maybe. I'd say 3 or 4 inches. Because he's only 6'3", I want to say.
He might be 6'3" with a wider frame, maybe.
Yeah. I know he's just not quite tall enough to play a forward.
JJ ain't fucking taller than him.
Yeah, he's not. He's not tall enough to play a forward spot in my position, but that's where they're going to be playing him. So I guess we'll see how that works out. The reason they're doing that is because the offensive numbers, they outscore opponents by such and such whenever him, Chris Paul, and James Harden are together. So I get the reasoning for that, but I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, back to the Warriors and OKC. Schroeder looked pretty good. Steph Curry is Steph Curry, 32 points. He was like 5 for 5 from
shimmying his way down the court.
Every
single second.
I think if he makes like somewhere around 250 or 300 threes this season, which he probably will, he'll move up to like 3rd or 4th all time on the 3-pointers made list. And by the time all is said and done, he's going to be number 1.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. But anyway, Steph is Steph. He had almost a triple-double. I don't like triple-doubles. They're overrated in my opinion. They don't mean anything. I mean, they do, but they don't mean anything unless you win and unless the assists are not selfish and the rebounds are not selfish.
Right.
If they're instinctive rebounds and instinctive assists, cool. But if they're not, I don't like them.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And I don't like the fact that people gauge how good a player is based on how many triple-doubles they get. That's one of the
If anyone does
things.
That,
there are people that do. Yeah, sigh, right?
That's just disappointing. Incorrect.
I know, incorrect analysis.
Yeah,
but those are my 2 biggest
recalculate
things with
your numbers.
Yeah. Paul George looked really good in the 3rd quarter. He led OKC back into the game. 15 points in the 3rd. I think he was perfect from the field almost, except for like a half-court shot he took at the buzzer.
Right.
But that was a fun game. Even without Westbrook, they still managed to stay in the game because the Thunder are a lot deeper this year than they were last year because they made those additions in the offseason.
Got Schroeder. They kept some good pieces on their bench, like Abrinas, Grant. I don't know. Is Grant starting?
No. I don't think so. Maybe he is.
I don't know. Grant looked good.
Yeah. They got Diallo, too, the rookie they drafted.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Yeah.
They got Nerlens Noel too.
Yeah, Nerlens Noel. It'd be really cool to see a bounce back season for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, and I think he'll be like they got a pretty decently deep team, so they still managed to stay in the game with Golden State. Okay, so Kevin Durant. He's Kevin Durant, shooting over everybody. I'm surprised when he misses a turnaround jumper, and I'm surprised when Steph Curry misses a three.
Right.
It's just you expect it to go in.
Exactly.
Kevin Durant fell on his shoulder pretty hard llast night. We talked about that for a second before we started the podcast, but
yeah, he he almost destroyed his whole, like, I think it was left.
Yeah, like left or right side, whatever.
Yeah, he just. It was funny because the bucket the ball fell in perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was like he got it, and then he just slammed into the ground.
What were you saying earlier about him and Westbrook?
Oh yeah, yeah, they were chirping. I don't know if Russell Westbrook started something by saying something to him on the sideline. Then KD drained something, and he was like, blah, blah,
I think he
blah,
blocked
blah.
somebody.
Maybe something like that. I don't know, but I could see them talking. Russell Westbrook was getting off the seat, cheering him on, like kick his ass.
Yep. Speaking of Westbrook, he provided the first 2 GIF memes of the season.
Really?
Dennis Schroeder airballed the 3 in the fourth quarter that pretty much, if he made it, it would have kept OKC in the game for the last final stretch, but he missed it.
Yeah.
Westbrook puts his glasses back on, his gold rimmed, whatever those were.
He's such a meme. I love Westbrook.
Because the camera pans over to him and he's just like,
Right. No, yeah, because he knows they're gonna turn to him. Just like, that's the backup point guard. And Russell Westbrook's out, just like pushing on his shades. He's like, I'm not here.
He was a great cheerleader that night. I don't know how many games he's gonna miss, but OKC's gonna need him because the playoffs in the West are gonna come down to the final couple of games. So it's important that you get off to a good start, or else you're in danger of not making the playoffs. Yeah, he'll be back soon, I'm sure. And like I said before, they're still a quality team even when he's out because they held their own against Golden State. I don't want, like I said earlier, I don't want to overreact to one game, but
Schroeder's looking good. Yeah. Paul George is looking good. Bench is looking good.
Yeah,
it's solid start for OKC.
Yeah. The other meme Westbrook provided is they panned over to him, was like eating a snack on the bench. He ducked down and he looked like he wasn't supposed to be eating, like he was trying to sneak something. Say you're in class,
like he's on a plan or something.
Yeah. That was hilarious. So shout out to Westbrook for the first memes of the season. Oh, another meme of the season, Jason Tatum. This man was wearing a red hat that had a red hat on it.
I saw that on your Twitter.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
This man he was wearing a hat with a hat on it. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Not really, but metaphorically, that's not even a metaphor. Figuratively speaking, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so that's enough of those games tonight. What games are you looking forward to tonight? Are you watching any? Well, we're gonna watch the Hawks.
Yeah, I was like, we're watching any? I'm like, I'm staying over.
Yeah, because we've said it before. We're from Atlanta, so and then I was a big fan of Trae Young in college, so it made my day when he got drafted to the Hawks. Because now I get to watch him.
We were excited for Doncic too. Because,
either one. I would have been fine with Bagley, Ayton, Doncic, or Young, and we got.
I wouldn't be mad with either of those picks or any of those either. But
yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't get Bagley because I haven't really seen too much from him yet.
Nothing much from Marvin Bagley.
But they play the Jazz tonight, so now that regular season's here, we'll see what happens. I'm also gonna be watching the Suns and Mavericks game on ESPN at 10:30.
Okay,
that's gonna be a good one. Because we get to see our first look at Doncic in the regular season. Ayton, Booker's even going to play his hand surgery. Apparently, he's all healed up, so
Booker's back in.
Yep.
They're going to have Ariza, which is going to be an interesting piece to have. People underestimated how big of a part Ariza played in Houston's offense and defense because he was that.
That's why I think Houston took a step back. People
use a 3-and-D type player. They use so often, but.
Yep.
He was great for that. He was great for that. And he knew his role, and he played it to a T. He was great.
Exactly. Same thing with Mbah Moute. Even though they didn't have him for some of the playoffs, he's still a key role player for them.
He had an ugly-ass jumper, but he could shoot.
And play defense. Not that that's their huge keys to it, but
no, they're not the big pieces. But it's it's the small things that
that really make a championship team.
Exactly.
Couldn't have worded it better myself, there, mate. All right, so Jimmy Butler is going to be playing tonight with the Timberwolves. So I was watching The Jump, and Woj was saying that Tibbs won because he didn't want to trade Butler, and it hasn't happened yet.
He was like, I'm not.
Yeah, and after the whole practice thing, I know you heard about that. Tibbs raised the asking price for Jimmy Butler because teams were calling more. So after the practice story got out,
Word.
So he raised the asking price even more,
what an asshole.
And then they turned down the deal from the Heat that they would have gotten. So now I don't even think Jimmy's going to get traded.
So like he would have had a deal with the Heat, and then he was like, actually, it's it's a few more million.
Yeah, he was like, I need some more assets. But I don't think any teams are going to take a chance on just getting Jimmy for 1 year. Then I don't think they should do that. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to either.
I don't think he's a 1 year player.
So I don't think he's going to even get traded at this point. Even though Glenn Taylor said they're going to be actively looking for one and he's going to play until they trade him, I don't really see it happening at this point. They've waited far too long.
I don't know, man. It's such a weird situation. I can't remember. When was another situation like this?
I guess the Kawhi thing and
Spurs,
Kawhi, but he didn't play though.
Yeah,
kind of held out.
It was different.
And it was during the off season too, so there weren't any games to be played. But I can't really remember a specific example similar to this where a player played even though they made a trade request. Because
what was the ones where it was the Suns? I think was it
Bledsoe.
It was Bledsoe or Brandon Knight.
Bledsoe tweeted, "I don't want to be here anymore," and then they told him to go home. And they traded him like shortly after that. So that was his trade request.
Wow, your wish has been granted.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of all this. Like I said, they've waited far too long to make a trade. Right. So I feel like he's just going to be stuck there for the season, and maybe things will work out, and maybe he'll want to stay. But he said he thinks that things can't be fixed. But I feel like if he just kind of sees what happens this season, see how good they can be, and see if Towns and Wiggins can work hard to his standards, maybe he'll stay.
And that's the thing. He's obviously very vocal.
Yeah.
He just wants his teammates to step up because there's nothing that he has said that is incorrect.
Yeah.
There's a lack of effort, and it's obvious with these people, Cat, Wiggs, and these other people, and he's upset because it's not so much that's as much as they can do, because they can do so much more. They have so much more potential, and Jimmy Butler sees that, and he wants these guys to succeed and play to their fullest potential.
Right. So I think if they start trending more towards that, maybe he'll stay. But I feel like things are so weird there now that maybe won't even happen. I don't know. It's just a super weird dynamic and situation going on in Minnesota.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. They play their home opener because they play the Spurs tonight, and then I think sometime in the next few days they play back at home, and I don't know if the crowd is gonna boo him.
Right.
They definitely will, because he said bring it. So they're gonna boo him whenever he touches the ball, I'm sure. But then whenever he makes a play for them,
oh sure, yeah.
Oh man,
once he drops some good stats, they'll be like,
maybe we want this guy on
our
team.
Right.
Wiggins has even said that. That's a guy you want on your team. So I don't know. I think he's gonna end up playing the whole season there, because a trade at this point just doesn't seem
right. And if it was possible, like a midway through the season trade or something ridiculous like that, it just wouldn't make much sense unless like the Timberwolves were just absolutely tanking, like unintentionally.
Yeah. Maybe he'll have a change of heart and want to stay, but it's kind of a long shot.
Right.
So we'll just have to see what happens there. Last thing before we get into our power rankings and predicting the standings, Kevin Knox is going to be coming off the bench to start the season. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we thought
that was bad.
That was pretty good.
It's been like 20 minutes though since we voice cracked last, so that wasn't
impressive. Yeah,
impressive, right?
Okay, so Kevin Knox coming off the bench, he should be starting. Unless he's absolutely just super inexperienced. I think you need to get someone who's like that out on the court, get him some minutes. You're not a winning team right now.
Exactly.
You need him on the floor to develop into the player he's going to be.
Exactly.
You can't keep him on the bench. I'm sure he's going to get minutes and he'll gradually get up there, but why wait?
Yeah, I mean, he's super
especially
athletic.
with Porzingis out.
Yeah, he's super athletic. He's good, for a young player. They need to be starting him because he's part of the future pieces of the Knicks, going forward. And
Right.
people are saying like he's gonna only be getting so many minutes because Porzingis is injured, but I don't understand why you wouldn't just play them together at the power forward and small forward position, whichever one you want to interchange them with.
Right.
Or maybe even have KP at the 5. I don't know.
I'm coining the term "lanky boys" as for the duo of Porzingis and Knox. I want that to be.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
It will be. I think it'll be really fun to watch, and it's. I hope they aren't on different, sets of the floor.
Yeah, they got to be starting together because those are two future centerpieces of the franchise moving forward. So I don't understand why you. I mean, I guess it's just for the start of the season because Fizdale said that he's doing it to spark him, which I guess just means make him want to work harder to get to a starting position.
Right.
But I don't.
Why would you
I don't
say
get
that
that. You're the New York
publicly?
Knicks. You're a bad team. Just play your
Right.
young players, especially your number 9 pick. It doesn't make sense to me why they're not starting him.
I could be on the Knicks bench right now.
Yeah, really, right? Back up Ron Baker. So that's that. So let's talk a little bit about our power rankings or standing predictions.
So basically, what we're gonna do is Alex has his list made up with power rankings, and I'm just kind of critique it. Whichever ones I think go other places. But here's Alex's list.
Yeah, it's not so much power rankings. It's just like 1 through 8 seed, what I would think they would be in both conferences. So we'll start with the West here. I've got Warriors at 1. That's like the 5th voice crack this video, man. Unbelievable.
We're doing it today. We're doing great.
Warriors at 1, Rockets. Let me know when you disagree. Warriors at 1, Rockets at 2, Thunder 3rd, 4 Jazz, 5 Lakers.
Yeah, switch those.
You think the Jazz will be 5 and the Lakers will be 4?
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so tell me why you think that the Lakers will be better than the Jazz.
Jazz do not have the chemistry quite yet.
Really?
They don't. They really don't. And
they were great last year.
They were
had great chemistry last year.
They had great chemistry last year, but I don't think it's all there yet. There's offensive power missing, even with Donovan Mitchell. There's Gobert is more of a defensive center.
Yeah.
He's not. He'll get his lobs and he can push people out of the paint, but I just don't. I really think Lakers would be better than the Jazz, even though the Lakers are kind of a, we've seen them play now. We kind of know what that looks like. But from the play I've seen from both teams, I'm thinking Lakers over Jazz as far as this ranks.
Well, I would argue with you, and I would say that the Jazz have much better chemistry than the Lakers because
I'm not saying one has better chemistry. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm just saying one has kind of and lack of.
All right. Well.
There's just misplays here and there.
I guess. The Jazz are such a cohesive unit, though, in my opinion, that they're capable of winning more than 50 games.
Yeah, I'm sure they're capable. I'm just kind of putting one before.
I guess. This isn't necessarily the Jazz are better than the Lakers or they'll beat them. I just think they'll win more games than the Lakers will.
Yeah.
When it comes to playoff time, for me, I don't know who would win that series. I would pick the team with LeBron James. I can't really go wrong there. But I wouldn't put it past the Utah Jazz because they're such a cohesive unit that has great chemistry, has great offense and defense. I don't think it would be too far of a stretch to say they would beat the Lakers in the playoff series.
It wouldn't be a stretch.
We'll have to see how they
look. But it would
look
definitely
during
be
the
a
season.
battle, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we disagree there a little bit.
All right, so
I got Nuggets at 6, Pelicans at 7, Trailblazers at 8.
I
don't have the Spurs making the playoffs, and I hate to say it, but they just lost their starting point guard and their backup point guard to injury. They lost their draft pick, Lonnie Walker, to injury, for at least a couple of months.
For them to even kind of be good,
and then
DeMar DeRozan
has to be a superstar.
Yeah, he has
and that's hard to do in the West.
Mm-hmm. He's going to have a real challenge this season.
Yeah, he doesn't even look comfortable with the Spurs.
Not at all.
From what I saw in preseason. I don't want to overreact to preseason. Regular season will probably be different, but from what I've seen so far.
He just doesn't look comfy where he is right now.
Comfy.
He doesn't look comfy.
Yeah, I got the Nuggets making the playoffs this year. The Nuggets are going to win
I'm
around 50
Nuggets.
games.
I
me
really
too.
like the Nuggets' chances.
Especially if they can get stuff from Michael Porter Jr. Even without him, they're going to be a playoff team. And then they got Isaiah Thomas, and they got another year of their young backcourt that's pretty good. and then they got another year of Jokic.
Right.
Who's
Are
a
they
fringe
starting
MVP
Will Barton?
No, I'm pretty sure he's coming off the bench.
Okay.
Maybe they're starting him in a forward spot.
I thought I heard something about him.
Maybe they are. Maybe they are.
I just know he's a great bench player. And
I just know they got a lot of good players. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Maybe they are starting him. I don't know. So I got Pelicans at 7 because I think the Pelicans got worse losing Rondo and Boogie.
Yeah.
They got Julius Randle, and I don't know if
the
they
sad
made any
thing
other
is,
acquisitions,
like,
but
AD is still going to put up ridiculous numbers.
yeah, he's a top 5 player. He's a superstar. That's why I have them making the playoffs.
Right. He's going to literally carry them.
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch just for Anthony Davis' sake, but other players. I mean, Drew Holiday's great. You know,
Oh, yeah, they got
I
Holiday,
think
too.
he's a great player. I think that'll probably be the best combo of that team is Drew Holiday and Davis.
And they might surprise some people.
Yeah, they could, you know, and that's the thing. These are rankings based on the first day of the NBA.
Yeah, or
you know?
going into the season, you know.
Yeah.
These 6, 7, and 8 Nuggets, Pelicans, and Blazers, I feel like they can all change positions depending on how the season
those last
goes.
3 are very different. Even
They're interchangeable in my opinion.
Even Trailblazers might fall out of 8
They could.
and something else could replace them.
They could. I mean, it's crazy what could happen in the Western Conference.
Who do you think would be 9 on that list?
Probably Clippers or Spurs or
I'd put Spurs
Mavericks,
over Clippers.
maybe.
I'd put
Just
everything over the Clippers.
The Clippers got a decent team though. They do. They got Lou Will, Tobias Harris, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari. They got a pretty deep team. Patrick Beverly. They got an all right team.
These aren't names though.
They're not names, but they're quality role players, at least at the
quality role players. They don't have a superstar.
Lou Williams they don't have a superstar. No,
DeAndre said, "I'm the fuck out of here."
They got enough good role players to they would make the playoffs in the East, in my opinion. Probably as a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah, they're better than the Hawks.
They're better than the Pistons and the Heat.
That's fair.
And those
Except
are
for
my
when D
7
Wade
and
is
8.
on the floor, their plus minus probably jumps.
Oh, yeah. So that's my West predictions. Please don't get mad at me if I left your team out or they're not where you want them to be. This is just my.
We love the Hawks, and we admit that they're like
trash.
Yeah, they're not good.
They are fun to watch though, but they're not going to be trying to win games. That's for sure. Okay, so let's go to the East. I got Celtics at 1, Raptors at 2, Sixers at 3, Bucks at 4. I've got the Bucks making a leap this year, and they could even jump Philly for the 3 spot.
This is supposed to be Giannis's breakout year.
They could get the 3 seed. That's their maximum potential this season, in my opinion. And the Sixers might get 4 seed. And then the Pacers, I got at 5, Wizards at 6, Heat at 7, Pistons at 8. Do you disagree with any of that?
Honestly, as far as the East goes, I can't disagree with much. You know, with the West, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of different players and teams that, you know, could really battle it out. But as far as the East goes, Celtics are number 1 hands down right now. It just seems just like an obvious pick for me.
One of the best coaches in the league, best GM, deepest team. Potential, maybe one day 5 All-Stars in their starting lineup.
Now, I would say that the Raptors, you know, for it being number 2, I don't think that's I think that's kind of high.
You think the Raptors at 2 are high?
Yeah, just a little bit. I know they had a great season last year, but you know they got rid of the coach that was picked for the All-Star game.
Yeah, that
was just stupid.
They traded away their best player and their coach. I feel like they should have waited to see what LeBron did, because if they had kept DeRozan, I don't know. They didn't need to make those trades, but they got a pretty good. They're really deep. They got a good starting lineup, good coach.
No, yeah, I'm not saying the Raptors are bad. I just think they'd be somewhere in more the 3-4 range.
That could be. I mean, I don't know. I'm really high on the Bucks this year because they got Mike Budenholzer who can actually run an offense.
Right.
They've got a lot of quality players around Giannis. I feel like this is the year they're going to make it to have home court, or at least be a top 3-4 seed.
So what is it? Middleton, Bledsoe,
Giannis, Brook Lopez.
I forgot Lopez.
Malcolm Brogdon. They got a lot of quality players on the Bucks, and they have a good coach who can run an offense. I feel like the Bucks are going to be pretty good.
If there's any opportunity for the Bucks to step up, it's definitely this year.
I think they get to the second round this year.
I think so too. I would not doubt it for a second.
Yeah. Another two teams I think are interchangeable are 5 and 6 Pacers and Wizards.
Yeah.
I really like the Pacers team, and they could potentially upset whoever they play.
Pacers is kind of a sneaky team.
They're a sneaky good team, for
right.
Sure. But then as far as Heat and Pistons go, 7 and 8, that's probably a good spot for them, I would say. The only other team that might gun for the 8th seed is, I'm hesitant to say this. Bulls and Cavs. I feel like they have potential.
The Bulls don't have
the defense. That's what they do.
They don't have the defense, but they have a lot of good pieces.
Good young players.
It was good on them to re-sign Zach LaVine and keep him where he is, and Lowry.
Yeah.
I love Lowry Markkinen. I can't wait to see what else he does.
He's still recovering from that injury, from the elbow sprain or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So he'll be back. I think it's in a couple of weeks. I don't remember when he got injured, but it was not too long ago.
Right.
So those are mine. We talked about what we just. You said you agree for the most part here, and we.
Yeah. Not much to argue about with those East standings.
Yeah. All right, I think that's gonna be it. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment what you thought, subscribe, and thanks again for over 900 subscribers. We're pretty close to 1,000, and I'm gonna be pretty pumped when we hit 1,000. So
yeah, and I'm gonna sing happy birthday to Alex when we hit 1K, just for you guys.
No, you're not. That's never happening again. unless it's either yours, mine, or Nathan's birthday. That's the only reason. But yeah, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys later.
All right,
Peace.
later, guys.